What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we are back with a brand new Jakks Pacific review on Wave 30 of the World of Nintendo Super Mario figures. We're going to be taking a look at Ice Mario, Wendy, Yellow Toad, and Shy Guy. Pretty excited for this review. This is their 30th wave here, which is wild to see how far we are into this line. But I am interested to see what we got going on here in this series so far. So let's go ahead and go over their packaging, starting with Ice Mario right here, which I'm actually very excited for. You guys know how excited I was for the new Mario we had in Wave 29. So this is pretty much the same. It's just the ice power, but of how good that Mario figure was, very excited for this. And I'm sure they're going to do the rest with like Fire Mario as well. And you know, any other power-ups we'll probably get with this sort of head sculpt and new articulation. But very excited for this, but the packaging is the same. We get the same Mario art right there. We get the Super Mario logo with the Mushroom Kingdom in the background. You can't see his ice flower right there. You get your warnings and then your Jakks Pacific logo right here. To the side, Super Mario. On this side it says Ice Mario, and then you know the bottom is like your license and then your barcode right there. And then on the back of the packaging we can see a nice product image of the figure, Super Mario logo right there, official Nintendo licensed product. And then you can see the bio if you want to pause and read that. He has 11 points of articulation, and then you can see all the other figures in this set. So that's pretty nice right there. Next up is going to be Wendy. So this is Wendy's first ever 4-inch figure. She looks pretty great so far. Packaging is about the same thing. You get Wendy right here, Jakks Pacific logo, your warnings and such, same at the bottom, and you know, same old there. And in the back we can see a nice shot of the figure, Wendy. There's the bio if you want to pause and read. Super Mario logo, same thing, and she gets 10 points of articulation right there, so that's pretty nice. Next up is Yellow Toad, which is a brand new 4-inch Toad variant right here. We finally get a Yellow Toad right here. He comes with the question block, and I just remembered that I didn't even point out Wendy's wand. Of course she comes with her wand. Do apologize for that. But here is Yellow Toad. He comes with the question block right here. Packaging is the same thing. Coming to the back right here, here's a shot of the figure and then the bio for Yellow Toad. And then he gets 3 points of articulation, and then same thing right there. So there's that. And then finally we get Shy Guy, which now the difference with Shy Guy is this is the one without the hole for the propeller. Same thing with like the paratroopers, where you know the holes for like their wings. This is the same thing with Shy Guy. That's the only difference. Now I'm only showing this for those that just want this Shy Guy figure, or they missed out on it, you know. So that's why I'm kind of just showing this out really, but I'm not going to spend too much time. It's just, you know, it's just really the same Shy Guy figure really. But Shy Guy comes with a coin. You love to see that. But that is the wave right there, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack these figures out of their packaging, put them on the base, and see what these guys are all about. Alright guys, so here's the figures out of their packaging, looking pretty good I must say. I did run into some problems though on this Wendy figure that we'll get into in a bit. But as for Ice Mario and Yellow Toad, I definitely knew what I was getting into with these guys, since there's not a lot that's changed other than a repaint. But the figures are still great overall, of course. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of their accessories we're getting here in this line. Look at each figure up close, go over their articulation, and do some figure comparisons, and give you my final thoughts near the end. So here's the accessories you get here. We'll actually start off with Wendy's wand right here. So Wendy does come with her purple wand, which is pretty nice. You know, same thing as her 2.5 inch. It's just a bit longer this time. I do have like a weird paint smudge going on right here to the handle. Next up, you just get a re-release coin and then a re-release question block. You know, we've seen these a bunch of times. And then you actually get a ice flower right here. Now, this ice flower is actually a bit different because I compared it with my older one, and I believe like this one is a bit smaller, and I think the blue is a bit more darker too actually. And same thing a little bit with the green. I think this has like more of a lighter green, and then you can see the stem is a bit more shorter, but I think that's about the difference. Now what sucks about this is that mine got a little warped to the bottom right here, so it is gonna have like a hard time trying to stand, because you can kind of see how it's kind of leaning forward, but it doesn't want to seem to, yeah, it's still kind of, I don't know. So that does suck right there. And another thing is Goomba. You know, if you get the Goomba in this set, Goomba comes with the coin as well. So that's pretty much the accessories. Oh, well, let me get that out the way. But that's pretty much your accessories that you're getting here with this wave. So here's a closer look at the Ice Mario figure. Starting out with the head sculpt, which, like I said, it is the same thing as the other Mario figure we got in the recent wave. I think it's a pretty strong head sculpt. I was always a fan of it. You guys, you know, you guys already seen my reaction of how it was. I love this head sculpt a lot, man. Like I said, I love the eyes that they got from Mario. I don't know, it just looks really, really good for him. You know, he got the open mouth still, the raising eyebrows, which is a bit more exposed, but still pretty nice. But this time, you know, again, it is a repaint for the ice power-up. So the hat and then the shirt is your light blue. You also get the gloves, the nice vibrant red on the overalls, which is nice. You see the buttons. And then coming down, you can see the nice brown shoes right there. And then there's the bottom of his feet. So there's that. Like I said, it is just a repaint of, you know, the Wave 29 Mario with the new head sculpt, but I like it. You know, I don't really see any like, you know, like any paint smudges or anything, any paint chips. This guy's pretty solid. So as for articulation, you know, same thing, which I'm sure is going to be pretty nice. However, at least that's what I thought at first, because the head isn't as smooth as the, you know, the other one that I had, but you know, it can still get the job done. It's still, you know, a pretty nice head turn that you get here with this Ice Mario. You get a full rotation in the arms, which is pretty nice. So the arms can move up and down, which is nice. You get your single jointed elbows. You also get your wrist articulation, along with a hinge to the shoulder, and you can swivel the arm as well. And the legs is about the same thing. He kicks forward about here and then back about there, but you also get your single jointed knees, and you can swivel at the ankle. So there is that. Same thing, same articulation, but it's still really good, man. I just love this new Mario mode that they gave him, man. I think they did an amazing job with him. Like the new mode they gave him is just so cool. Like, I love the articulation on him. But now that we went over that, guys, let's go ahead and do some figure comparisons for this guy. So here's a comparison with the newer Mario figure we got in the recent wave, and then the older Ice Mario figure, and you can see the difference, you know, with the head sculpt, and then a little bit of the boots too. Like, you can see that the boots here are a bit like more vibrant than these are. You know, they're like a little bit darker. But yeah, like I said, man, I love this new Mario figure a lot. I think there's a lot going on with like the face, and you know, like the new ink articulation they added, and how smooth the articulation is on this guy is just really, really fantastic, man. I think they did an amazing job with it. So that is your comparison with the Ice Mario figure. Next up, we'll be taking a look at Yellow Toad. Don't need to spend too much time on the little guy. It is really just a different paint job. It's just, you know, Yellow Toad here, but it is still nice that we are getting another variation of Toad in the 4-inch line, and I think he looks great, honestly. I don't really seem to get any paint smudges or anything going on to his head or anything. You know, the mouth is okay. Pretty much everything else is still pretty much the same. You know, it is Toad. I do wish Toad does get some sort of like rotation into his legs. You know, like maybe Toad can get some sort of new formula, but I don't know. I think they're going to keep this, you know, they're just going to keep this Toad for a while, really. But yeah, it's pretty much, almost dropped him right there, but it's pretty much just that, you know. It's just the Yellow Toad as your other ones, you know, the green one, the blue one. It's pretty much the same thing. In articulation, same thing. You know, you get your head swivel and then your arms and then your hinge to the shoulder, and pretty much that. So yeah, like I said, same thing as the other Toads, which we are going to do our comparisons real fast. And here is Yellow Toad with all the other Toads, and I thought I include the Fire Toad in here so you can like kind of see how many Toads we've been getting the 4-inch line in. It looks pretty great. We are still missing some other Toads, but so far it's starting to build up, man, and they've been doing a pretty good job with the Toads. But hopefully we do get something new with like a, you know, like a new mold for one of these Toad figures someday. But this is the Toad figures we got here so far. Alright, so here's a closer look at Wendy. Starting out with the head sculpt, it is the same as her 2.5-inch figure, but it still looks pretty good. You know, I think the likeness is definitely there for Wendy. She still has her large lipstick. You can see her bow, which is nice. You can see her lashes, and then here's the back of her bow. You can still see the nice white polka dots on here, and then here's her pink shell. You still got her rings around her wrist. You can see her red pearls on her neck, and then she still got her nice pink heels. So everything about this Wendy figure, it looks pretty good, man. I think they definitely nailed it on the 4-inch figure. I think they really did an amazing job right here, and you can see her arm, or I'm sorry, her hand is a bit different than here, because you can have her hold her her wand. So you just kind of insert it there, and boom, there you go. Now you have Wendy holding her wand like the other Koopalings, and it fits there pretty nice. Now I do have a little bit of an issue with this Wendy figure, and that is her standing. So it's different because the legs are a bit spread than her 2.5 inch, because her 2.5 inch was, you know, the legs were closed. Sometimes I have to like adjust her heels a bit, but as you can see, I did get it right this time. But if you do kind of move it just a little bit, you know, like sometimes she is gonna fall over a little bit, and just keep that in mind. You're gonna have a bit of a hard time trying to get her to stand, but again, you just have to adjust the heels, and there you go. So that's you just gotta work with that a bit. Now for Wendy's articulation, starting with the head, you don't really get a lot of head movement. This is as much as you're getting if you want to turn her head, and she can kind of look up just a little bit. That's as much as you're gonna get to have Wendy look up and then down. It looks a little weird because the pearls is just, you know, just kind of strapped to her chest, like it's just kind of molded there. But having it, you know, having her head down, it looks a lot better, you can see. But that's as much as you're getting with the head movement right there. But it's still pretty nice, you know, at least you can get some movement up and down, which is really good. And then for the arms, you can move the arms, so you get a nice rotation to the arms. It is a little stiff though, but you know, you can still get it done. She does have a hinge to the shoulder, but it is pretty stiff. This is as much as you're getting right there. And you do get wrist articulation as well. Now another thing is that the rings on her hand, I thought it was molded on for a second, but there's actually like a hole to where this ring is like placed onto, so I think you can probably take it off if you want to. But coming to the legs, she doesn't really kick forward or back. They kind of, you know, you kind of just get a swivel there, but you know, that's really just that. She doesn't really get a kick forward or back, but you can swivel at the ankle, so you can swivel right there, and you can move the heels up and down, so the heels do move up and down, which is very nice. You can move the tail, but I think mine is broken. There's like a crack between here, I don't know, and it just feels very, very loose. I don't think it's supposed to move like that, so something is, yeah, I think something's messed up right there with the tail. I don't know, I'm like kind of on and off with this figure. I mean, it looks really, really good, but it's just that the articulation and then the tail and then trying to get her to stand is like, you know, it's really an issue with me. It's really annoying, man. But so yeah, I got it there right there. But I think the figure is pretty good. It's just the articulation is what's bothering me, and then her trying to stand. So yeah. Alright, so here's a comparison with her 2.5 inch figure, and I didn't even realize how like bright the paint is compared to this one. Like you can see, like this one's a bit more darkened than that one, and that's pretty insane. I didn't even think about that until I did this comparison right there. Like, wow, that's pretty shocking right there. And then for another comparison, here she is with Bowser and the other Koopalings. Pretty nice comparison right here. I believe Roy is supposed to be in the next wave, so we'll most likely be here again when he arrives. Now back to what I was saying about Shy Guy. In this line, you are just getting a regular Shy Guy. You can see he doesn't have the hole as this one does. So, you know, it's just that these were just the ones where if you want the option to have a regular one or the propeller. But I mean, I guess maybe if you were doing stop motion and you wanted one, you know, without that, then you know, this is the one for you. And another cool thing is, well, I mean, you know, the buckle is different, so there's that. This one's more brighter, and then this one's like a little bit darker. So actually it's kind of like a little bit of an orange type brownish color, and this one's like more yellowish. So you know, you get a difference right there. But yeah, that's all I wanted to show you guys right there. So there is your Shy Guy comparison. Anyways, man, that is pretty much going to wrap up this review on Ice Mario, Wendy, and Yellow Toad for Wave 30 of the World of Nintendo Super Mario figures. Really bummed out on the articulation on the Wendy figure. Don't get me wrong though, the figure looks really good. I love the head sculpt and the paint job on her. I'm just not feeling the limited articulation she has, and on top of her heels giving her a hard time standing, and with the tail being very loose, it's just disappointing to have these flaws here for the figure. The Ice Mario is of course amazing since it has the same formula as the recent one, which I loved a lot, so I don't have any problems with him, along with the Yellow Toad since that's just a slight paint job. But I think this lineup is pretty solid right here. If you guys want to pick these up, they are available on Entertainment Earth and the Big Bad Toy Store website. But thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next video. Take care, my friends.